Here's the thing about power. Once you taste it, there's no going back. This planet tried to destroy us, to bring us to our knees. It failed. We arrived as explorers, pioneers, but we became something more, blurring the line between mortals and gods. The world order has changed. We were once prey. Now, we're the predators.
Outriders is the latest third-person action looter shooter, mixing role-playing elements to express itself as not your typical run-of-the-mill experience. From creating your own unique custom characters, as well as choosing from the 4 classes, all of which possess impressively unique abilities that the players can utilize.
I should play at being a god like you?
I am not playing.
The 4 classes include the Trickster, which has the ability to manipulate time, the Pyromancer, which can manipulate fire, as well as the Devastator, which can unleash seismic attacks, and lastly, but definitely not least, the Technomancer, which utilizes turrets and other devices. While the game features a robust skill tree that allows players to unlock and upgrade their skills, special skills maintain a short cooldown time and can be combined cooperatively with other skills for maximum effects. Players can use different weapons, such as a variety of assault rifles, shotguns, and pistols to defeat their enemies, and firearms can be customized with weapon mods. Adding their sort of Gears of War cover influence, developer People Can Fly incorporates a tactical cover system, enabling players to shield themselves from enemy attacks. However, health regeneration only occurs when you engage the enemy, forcing the player to maintain an assertive nature on the battlefield. Uniquely, and as mentioned before, the game incorporates various role-playing elements. As the players explore, they can explore different hub areas, talk to NPCs, as well as complete side missions. In cutscenes, a dialogue tree allows you to decide the outcome of some conversations, though it does not affect the story's progression. While Outriders can be played solo, we highly recommend playing the game as it was intended, as a co-op experience, with 1 or 2 other players. The more the better, trust us. According to GameSpot, Outriders blends well-known video game elements into something new and challenging. And while it takes itself seriously, it isn't self-serious. The game is about the human race destroying its home, violently colonizing new spaces and tearing itself apart. But its heavy themes are often lightened up by a general blockbuster goofiness and characters defined by their gallows humor. You find a place within it as an accidental super being with space magic powers on the newly colonized planet Enoch, and you're mostly just annoyed that irritating people are wasting your time with their gopher chores. It's a fun, self-aware fit. GameSpot gives the game an 8 out of 10. According to Push Square, at first glance, though you'd be forgiven for thinking it's an otherworldly knockoff of The Division 2, both are third-person cover-based looter shooters. However, that cover isn't just for you, it's for the enemy. This fundamentally changes how Outriders plays, where cowering behind a piece of rubble is more likely to get you killed than anything else. The game thrives when you do the complete opposite and take the fight to the enemy with flamboyant abilities and feel-good gunplay. Staying rooted to the spot is essentially a death wish. It's the power fantasy done right. It's here where Outriders sets itself apart from other looter shooters. Because Outriders is what Destiny 2 would feel like if you didn't have to wait minutes for your supers to charge. Push Square gives the game a 7 out of 10. According to Game Revolution, what starts as an interesting tale of humans fleeing Earth to settle on a new planet almost immediately turns into usual post-apocalyptic nightmare scenario. We've seen it all before, and aside from a few story beats that could have developed into something unique, I quickly became bored and reached for the skip button. The characters can't save it either. They move the story along well enough, though I've already forgotten their names. The acting is fine, but nothing exceptional. The protagonist is annoying, regardless of which gender you choose. If playing with friends, however, which you should, keep the banter volume high and the cutscenes volume quite low. Game Revolution gives the game a 7.5 out of 10. According to Shack News, what you need to know is that Outriders does a great job of continually allowing you to individualize your character. At the basics, it's in your class, their abilities, and your weapons. Soon enough, you unlock class points for your skill tree, which allows you to unlock things like added status effects on some of your abilities, bonus damage for using them in certain ways, or specialization in weapon class. Then there's gear mods. On weapons, these do everything from providing special health restores for kills or damage to cause explosions that harm nearby enemies when you hit a critical shot. On armor, they augment your class abilities, such as allowing a Technomancer turret firing freezing rounds to also poison enemies, or a Trickster gaining bonus damage after using their blink ability. You can even disassemble gears for parts and keep its mods to put on other gears later. Shack News gives the game an 8 out of 10. According to The Guardian, not everyone is looking for a game like Outriders. And if wooden dialogue and sci-fi cliches are not your thing, there's no shame in that. But if you're the type of player who reached a flow state in Doom Eternal, or speaks wistfully of Diablo, or perhaps remembers the rhythmic gunnery of Bizarre Creations' The Club, Outriders will speak to you. The Guardian gives the game an 8 out of 10. And lastly, according to PlayStation Lifestyle, to put it quite simply, Outriders is the best looter in a long time, nailing the core combat loop and having ideas of its own. Developer People Can Fly have crafted their best game and an experience that I hope provides the foundation for a franchise that will only get better with each iteration. Despite its poor narrative, I am happy to say that Outriders fully achieves what it intended to do, without containing any predatory and scheming microtransactions. I have had so much fun with the game so far, and there is at least 35 hours of content here for you, even if you don't want to touch the end game. PlayStation Lifestyle gives the game an 8.5 out of 10. And there you have it.